All right, game number 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals here in the Garden between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. Indiana up 3-1 here in the Eastern Conference Finals as they will look to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals and face the Oklahoma City Thunder. Can Indiana get it done? We are about to find out. Now, folks, before we get into the prediction and best bet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets. If the Pacers win tonight, and I am recording this before Thunder Wolves Game 5, I'm just kind of assuming the Thunder are going to win that game. But if Indiana and OKC both win in 5 games, we will be back for the daily NBA predictions for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, which I think is June 3rd? No. It's like June 8th. I'm not sure. We'll get to that when we get there. Anyways, make sure to join us for that, though, later on the channel. And also, every day for the MLB, we have our daily MLB best bets, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern time here on the channel. And on Greedo Plays MMA, we have weekly MMA predictions this week. A UFC Fight Night main event between Aaron Blanchfield and Macy Barber at 125 pounds. Okay, let's get on to the first of our I guess our only game today. Pacers Knicks. You know, Knicks going back to the Garden. Pacers. Yeah. I don't get why the Pacers are still being disrespected like this in the line. I don't get it. Oh, the game's in New York. Did we forget Indiana won both of their games in New York? I'm serious. The Pacers have already gone 2-0 over here. Who's to say they're not going to do it again? Guys, I was impressed with the Game 4 by the Pacers. I got a little concerned in that one going into the third and potentially into the fourth quarter as well. I thought it was going to be at times like Game 3. Now, again, I always thought Indiana was going to win, but I did get concerned because in Game 3, obviously, Indiana, let's just be honest, choked it. There was a lot of bad rotations. I thought Rick Carlisle played in that game, and I thought it was a very winnable game. The Pacers lost in Game number 3. Regardless, though, they bounced back in Game 4 like they have done in every single game so far in this postseason against Milwaukee and against Cleveland as well. They lost Game 3 to both of those squads, just like to New York. They come back, they win Game 4. And everyone was just on fire for the Pacers. I mean, really. This is an Indiana Pacers type basketball game. And this is the type of game that we said Indiana needs to play. And really, the main thing you can look at on how Indiana won this basketball game is the final score. You look at the Game 3 where, Indiana definitely should have won, I thought. But they only score 100 points, which in this day's NBA, obviously, and for Indiana Pacers standards, is really low, right? You look at the Pacers game in Game 4, it's 130-121. And, I mean, it has to be talked about. Tyrese Halliburton's a top 10 player in the sport. I think he's slowly working himself into potentially top 5. I know the top 5 is, Shea, Jokic, Giannis, and then obviously it's whoever you have. I mean, Anthony Edwards potentially, LeBron James. There's a long list. Jason Tatum, right? There's a bunch of guys who could potentially be top 5. Obviously, the top 3 feels pretty automatic, and regardless of what order you have them, Luka, obviously, how can I forget? I feel like Tyrese is slowly working his way though, truly into the top 5. I think so. He's 100% top 10. He has cleared the conversations, and I love Trae Young, but he's cleared the Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, and John Morant conversations at this point, by far. Regardless, though, the game Tyrese Halliburton played in Game number 4, in 38 minutes, he scores 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers. Insane stuff. On 11 for 23 shooting, and 5 of 12 from the three-point line. Reggie Miller has talked about it at length, and the TNT broadcast has spoken about this at length, about Halliburton's struggles shooting in Indiana in this postseason. He's been excellent on the road. Obviously, had some marquee moments in Cleveland and New York so far. But at home, Halliburton has only been shooting, I think, like 20-something% from the three-point line. Well, that changed in Game number 4. I've always said this about Tyrese Halliburton, and it's 100% true. This is a guy who shows up in the big moments. He does. 5 for 12 from the three-point line in Game number 4. He cooled down mightily in the second half. Only hit 1 three-pointer, I believe, in the second. But that first half, man, I believe went 4 for 5 from the three-point line. It's just what Halliburton does. He's so great. The mid-range game looked great as well in Game 4, and Van Gundy's going to say this a million times, but it's 100% true. When Tyrese Halliburton decides, all right, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to attack to the rim, he is so good. He is so untouchable or he's unstoppable, really, because he can shoot. And sure, is the shooting motion awkward as hell and is it funky? Yeah, it works, though. Again, Halliburton can shoot, he can drive, the mid-range game is there as well. He's been playing a perfect postseason so far. And the game Pascal Siakam played in Game number 4, too. I mean, my goodness. 11 for 21 shooting, 3 for 4 from the three-point line, 30 points for Siakam. Aaron Nesmith didn't look like he was hurt at all. I know Nesmith has gotten the questionable tag yet again for this game number 5. 100% he's going to play. Nesmith, amazing. 16 points, but I mean, those were hard 16 points that Nesmith had. Miles Turner, I feel like Turner still leaves a little bit to be desired in my personal opinion, but I think Turner did what the Pacers needed him to do. Andrew Nembhard is the one guy who did not show up in game number 4. 1 for 9 shooting-wise, 1 for 2 from the three-point line, but obviously Nembhard is part of that coalition who has to defend Jalen Brunson throughout the game. That's Nembhard, that's Nesmith, that's Ben Shepherd, and that's Benedict Mathurin. At all times, one of those 4 guys is going to be guarding Jalen Brunson. But anyways, the starting lineup played great. And then Benedict Mathurin, who I said shouldn't even be playing in this postseason. I said after game 3, I didn't need to see Benedict Mathurin play anymore. He was great in game number 4, right? Got to the line 11 times, scored 20 points. He was the 3rd leading scorer for Indiana in this game, 5 for 8 from the field. Yeah, Mathurin was excellent. He was 100% excellent, and he has worked his way back into this rotation. And potentially, and he should get the Ben Shepherd minutes, I think. I'm not against Shepherd playing as well. Shepherd is going to hit his 1-3 a game, it feels like. I know he didn't hit one last game, but I feel like Mathurin should be playing a little bit more than Shepherd. Hopefully, again, if he can carry that momentum that he got in game number 4. What can I say about TJ McConnell? He does his thing. Obi Toppin played well, hit that big 3, hit the dagger. Tony Bradley's doing a good job, took the Thomas Bryant minutes. The Pacers are playing good basketball. For New York, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for the Knicks. I know a lot of Knicks fans are going after Josh Hart. I get it. Turned the ball over a lot. 5 turnovers for the Knicks in 36 minutes. I don't think Josh Hart's the reason they lost. I think the main reason, we can point out all these things at New York, the main reason the Knicks lost is because they can't shoot the way the Pacers can. I'm just going to be honest. And that's, again, I will continue to say this, that's why I think the Indiana Pacers are going to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7 games. I think so. I think it's going to be a great series. And now, ratings-wise, who cares? Okay. Indiana versus Oklahoma, who gives a damn? All right, I'm excited for that. That's going to be some of the best basketball we've seen in the NBA Finals since Warriors-Cavs. And no, not the bad Warriors-Cavs series, the good Warriors-Cavs series, the 2 of them, right? I'm serious. Like, this might be the best and, best basketball we've seen, the most, I guess Bucks-Suns was fun. But, I mean, this is going to be, I think, the most contested NBA Finals we've seen in a very long time. And I firmly believe that. That's my thing in that series, right? I think Indiana, it doesn't matter how good the Thunder play. If Indiana continues to shoot the way that they do and Halliburton's playing like the way he does, I don't know who beats this team. And I get it. OKC's going to be like a minus 400 favorite to win the series. And I've been all over SGA all season long for good reason. He's the best player in the sport. I just think Indiana's a little bit better than Oklahoma City, in my opinion. We'll get to that when we get there, assuming we get there. Regardless, the New York Knicks, I don't even think they played a bad game. I really don't think so. OG Anunoby needs to be better from the three-point line. He hit that 1 3-pointer over Siakam with the shot clock expiring. I don't know how the hell he made that, and that was the only 3 he sunk in the entire basketball game. Karl-Anthony Towns, I do think the Knicks need to go to Cat more. I really think so. He took 15 shots in game number 4, and yes, he gets to the line all the time. And don't get me started on the referees. I'll get to that in a second. But I think the Knicks need to play through Cat more. I think Miles Turner, who I like, I don't think he can hold Karl-Anthony Towns, nor can Tony Bradley. The thing about Cat is, and I'll get into this right now, Knicks fans are complaining about some of the calls. Okay. The TJ McConnell step out of bounds, I understand that's bad. And then the other one was when Siakam clocks OG Anunoby. Okay, that's fair. The Knicks outshot the Pacers from the three-point line by about 10 free throws if you don't count the end of the game free throws. Regardless if you do count those free throws, New York shot 39 free throws and Indiana shot 32. Another thing. Guys, Karl-Anthony Towns' his entire game is based around hooking the arm. I'm just going to be honest, and I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying I think it's ridiculous for Knicks fans to complain about the penalties. Technically, I think what Cat does for the most part, even when he's just in the post with Miles Turner and he's hooking Turner the entire time, by the rule book, that is a foul. They're not going to call that, and I get it. Again, a lot of players do that. But that is basically Cat's game, and I've said this before about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's game is based on the fact that he gets away with the shoulder bump. And again, that's fine, players do it, But technically, is that a foul? Yes. And again, it's the NBA. The officiating is at an all-time worst right now. I think it's horrible right now. And I think it's inconsistent on all sides, right? I think Cat should have been called for some penalties. And I also think Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner should have been called penalties, some flags as well. I firmly believe that, right? I think it goes both ways. But I don't think it's to the point where Knicks fans are bitching and complaining that, oh, the Knicks lost because of the whistle. 100% no. You shot more free throws. And again, Jalen Brunson and Cat's entire game is getting to the free throw line and driving, okay? Jalen Brunson, I don't know why he doesn't play as much. You look at the final tally, okay, he plays 37 minutes. This is a guy who would easily play 40 minutes per game in big-time games in the regular season, and now Tom Thibodeau has looked to his bench, which, again, I said in Game 3, I don't think it's the worst thing, but it's just, you go with Brunson on the bench for that long, it's interesting. It is. And sometimes, yeah, their offense does function better when it's just Karl Anthony Towns, I'm going to be honest, right? When it's just Cat, and then if you got a guy in the perimeter, okay, you can kick to a Landry Shamet, a Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, who hit a 3 in game number 4 as well, right? But I think Brunson does need to play more. Mikal Bridges was good. I know Knicks fans are hating on him because he passes up on open layups from mid-ranges, and that's a fair assessment of his game. Mikal Bridges shot pretty well, went 4 for 5 from the three-point line. Can't really ask for more out of him. You can ask for more out of OG, and you can ask for more, I guess, out of Josh Hart, definitely. I think Landry Shamet played all right in spots. You know, I think DeLon Wright, it is what it is. And Rick Carlisle finally got his wish, right? He's been asking for Precious Achiuwa to play in the series for a very long time. He finally got it. Achiuwa played 2 minutes in the second quarter. What is Rick Carlisle going to say next? He's going to say, what? He's going to, I guarantee Rick Carlisle is going to go, you know, Tyler Kolek, we still haven't seen him this series. I mean, that's a guy who'd probably start for our team. I'm really fond of PJ Tucker's game as well. Like, I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet. It's like he's trying to bait Thibodeau to play these guys, and it's worked, I guess, for Cameron Payne and Precious Achiuwa. Regardless, though, and I've said this before about this series, and I'm going to say it again, because I think this is the last video I'm going to make about this series, and maybe there is one more. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. I don't think the Knicks stand a chance in Indiana if this does get to 6. I'm going to be honest with you. I do think it's over tonight. But if it does get to a game 6, expect a blowout. But this is what I will say, and I've said this before. This series comes down to made shots, and it comes down to how well you can shoot the three-point ball. And at the volume in which Indiana shoots that three-point ball, both teams shot 40%. Actually, the Knicks had a better percentage from the three-point line than Indiana. That's great. It's just Indiana, again, as in Game 4 they did. Over the course of a series, though, eventually it's going to catch up to you. It just is. And Indiana, the way they shoot the three-point ball, it's just too much. It's too much. And the way Halliburton plays as well. Jalen Brunson's been good in the series. He was a game changer early. His team lost the games where he was a game changer, and he was really good in Game 1. Team wouldn't be in the game if it wasn't for, they wouldn't have had that lead if it wasn't for Brunson in Game 1. But I'm just going to be honest, no one in the series has been a series changer other than Tyrese Halliburton. Because Tyrese Halliburton is legitimately the definition of a series changer. Because if it's not for Halliburton's big-time plays, guys, the series is likely 3-1 New York. Maybe 2-2. I'll give you 2-2. But maybe 3-1 for the Knicks. If it's not for the play of Tyrese Halliburton. That's just how much of an influence he's had on the series. And it's incredible to watch. It really is. So when specifically I look at this Game 5, I think, okay, the Pacers have already won back-to-back games in New York. Who's to say this one's going to be any different? I don't think the game's going to get away from them like it did in Game 1 to the point where they had to make that comeback. I think this is going to be like a Game 2, but it's just going to be a higher scoring Game 2, right? Game 2 is a 114-109 victory for the Pacers. It was a game where I kind of just felt like they were ahead. Not ahead, but I kind of felt like they were in control for the most part. Very closely contested first half. Second half was close as well, but Indiana kind of just kept pulling away. In the second half, I really didn't think the Pacers were going to lose at all. That was a game where Siakam at 39 really did everything for the team. I think this is going to kind of be like that game too. Just there's more scoring this time around. I think it's going to be a close game, but Indiana continues to win the clutch minutes in this series with the exception of game number 3, and I think they're going to do it again here in the Garden for game number 5. I think Pacers win if you want the safe pick. I guess play the points. It's 6.5, which I think is kind of crazy. 5.5, excuse me. I think that'll probably come down eventually, but maybe not. I guess Vegas is really respecting the Knicks at home, which is fine. They've already lost to the Pacers twice here. Indiana has won their last 3 playoff games in New York. Game 7 last year, games 1 and 2 this year, and I'm telling you guys, Tyrese Halliburton's on a mission. He just is. Tyrese Halliburton's on a mission, and he's potentially a top 5 player in the sport of basketball now. And what do the Knicks have? Again, it doesn't matter how well the Knicks play. It doesn't matter how well Cat's playing. It doesn't matter how well Jalen Brunson is playing. If the Pacers play like they do pretty much every single night, and in 3 of 4, I guess half of the games so far in the series, they've won game 2 and they didn't even play that well. But if the score is like games 1 and 4, the Knicks don't stand a chance. And New York's trying to run with Indiana, and the commentary team mentions that a lot. Like, okay, the Knicks are going to try to keep running with the Pacers. It just doesn't work. The Knicks have to slow the game down, right? But they kind of just get baited in playing this really fast game with the Pacers. And there are times where the Knicks they'll hit a layup, right? And Indiana immediately will inbound that ball, and they're immediately chucking it down the court, and there's an outlet pass to Pascal Siakam down the court, and Halliburton's obviously getting the assist, and the Pacers are right back in your face, right? The Knicks never get their defense set. They can't play with pace against Indiana. When they try to, sure, they look good because they can score on the Pacers, but in all fairness, they can't play well defensively against Indiana at pace. It's Pacers basketball right now, and it's Rick Carlisle basketball, and it's working. So I expect this game to be high scoring, and if it is a high scoring game, I don't think the Knicks are able to keep up. I think Indiana is just going to find a way to edge out a victory in this one, and I think the Indiana Pacers are going to raise that Eastern Conference Finals trophy in the Garden on the Knicks home court, and the Indiana Pacers are going to the NBA Finals to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. My prediction on that for now is Indiana in 7. We'll get to that when we get there, but I'm taking the Indiana Pacers to win Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. If that does not happen, I'll see you in 2 days for Game 6 in Indiana. Again, if that does happen, I truly believe that's going to be a blowout. We'll get there when we get there. And if the Thunder somehow lost to the Wolves a couple hours ago, then I guess when you're seeing this like 10 minutes ago, then I guess I'll see you tomorrow for Timberwolves versus Thunder. I doubt we're going to do another one of those games, but if we do, we do. So folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with the pick. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.